Video 3 on creating Russ's harp. Now we're going to take the covers off and pull those reed plates because we have to sand the top of the comb. Okay, now you notice that I took the mouthpiece off first. Why? Because you can damage these reeds very easily. And as long as you just oh boy, those screws were way tighter than I would have done. They don't need to be that tight. There's no function to that. You come here and you let them drop off, see, and there's that screw's kind of jammed in there. Okay, then, see, these are just, you can see they high vibration. And sometimes I might not be a bad idea to cover this in a cloth so it cannot get scratched up in this grouping of parts here. And then we want to take these parts and put them here so we don't lose them. Okay, now another interesting thing about this harp is that these stanchions, which are quite massive, are actually riveted onto the reed plate, which means you can lay the harp when you're working on it like this, or even if the reed plates are off, and it isn't going to damage the reeds or the breast savers. And let's take a look at the breast savers too. I'm not in a rush. So I think that we'll come take a look at these breast savers too, to give you a feel for what's going on. Okay. Pretty clean looking. Okay, now let's try to get a feel for... They're lighter in gauge. These breast savers are lighter in gauge than they were in the beginning. Those ones up there do not have them, but they do start right there. And they function. It's a double layer breast saver on some of these mediums, you know, starting around, oh, I'd say what, see, I'd say 5, C6, right around C6. It starts to, well, actually, every single one of these is a double, aren't they? They're all double layer breast savers. That's kind of nice. And it's a little scratched. The reeds are, because they were tuned. That's normal. The fit of the reed plate on the comb is perfect. So this is all looking pretty good. Now again, for a $110 harp, geez. You know, I have a warning for you here too that'll be interesting to you, I'm sure. My warning to you is, when you get this reed plates off, you better be careful, because the mouthpiece screws go into here, into some things, kind of a plastic, a little piece of brass that the screw goes into. It's not even brass, might be harder metal, but it's under here in the actual comb. They will fall out sometimes. Watch out for that. You also have to be careful. Get on safety glasses, and I'll tell you why. Sometimes these springs pop out, and if they do, they'll hit your eye. And I saw a very, very well-known player, and I won't embarrass him by saying who, but he had red on his eye because he had a slide spring come and get him. So here we go, and we're just gonna gently start to remove these. Now notice you can hear a click. That click is when the screw has turned as much as it can turn. And that's an important click, because when you're putting them in, what you do is you wait for the click and then you start taking it in. You won't strip anything. This has an unusual design where there's 3 little bitty screws that are smaller, and I'm only going to unscrew these a little because I want them separate from the other screws. These are not the same size. So I'm just going to loosen them, but not take them out yet. This screwdriver has a twirling end. Do you know why? Because you can work it with your fingertips and actually rest it on your palm. That's why they're designed this way. So you don't have to use your wrist to twist. You can twist with your fingers. Okay? That's why they're this way. You do have to use your wrist to get them started, usually, to loosen up. See, each one clicks. You want to get these reed plates off without damaging. These stanchions are nice also because you can't put the reed plates on wrong on this harmonica. The ones that the screw heads go into, of course, are on the bottom. And with these here, there's no question of orientation. And you just drop them out like this. Sometimes you have to help them out a little bit. I'm going to take and put all these. You don't want to lose parts. Now, if you have carpeting or shag carpeting and your parts hit the ground, good luck. You're probably going to lose them. So I'm very careful to try and keep all these little parts together. Okay, now I've got the harp disassembled other than these 3 top screws. So my method now, I'm going to change a little bit and hold them on there with both fingers so that as I remove these, that goes in there. 2, 3. Why am I doing this way? Because the reed plates can't move. They're not going to be able to move or fall or anything because I've got them with my hand. I come here, I grab like this, I grab like this. Now it's time for this sucker to come apart, right like that. Gently pull them off, right like that. Flip them around, and see what I mean about you can put the reed plates on the ground. Now, which one's the bottom, which one's the top? Well, this one has the threads, and these are just holes, so that I don't have to mark it in any way. And remember I talked about the fact you got to be careful. Oh, by the way, let's get that slide spring out of here right now because that can cause trouble. The way you do this, put your finger here and just kind of pull apart like that. And there you go. There's your slide spring. And you use these so that you can get it out totally cleanly. Remember I talked with you about the need to watch out for these little metal things. These are the little metal things right here that the mouthpiece screws go into. And you don't want those to escape. They just slide in and they're glued, but sometimes the glue lets go. So what I do usually is I'll come here and just tap and see, can I get them to come out? Now I can clean it and sand it, and I know I'm not going to have a problem. I can take a look one more time at this comb and see. I know it's not perfectly flat. It's within 1.5 ten-thousandths right now. Okay, now these guys, I'm going to go put them up on my mantle so that, against the wall, leaning, because I don't want anything to happen to these. I want them out of the area where I'm working. And now, our next game will be to go sand the comb. So down we go to the work area in the basement.